Okay, so welcome back to Horror and Heels. Today we are talking Stephen King's first ever written book. Not his first written, but his first published novel.
Published novel, yeah.
Published some soft short stories beforehand. We are talking, of course, Carrie. If you consider yourself a Stephen King fan and you didn't know that trivia fact, you might want to brush up.
Very much so.
But even Jen, who's not a huge King fan, knew that one, guys. So
Exactly.
So Carrie was not my first Stephen King novel, but it was close to my first. I actually, if you listened last week, I will now tell you why I got in trouble. In fourth grade, I was having a problem reading what I consider the baby fourth grade reading books. I would get through them in about a day and then sit there during reading time twiddling my thumbs. My teacher's solution was to let me bring my own books for reading time. Sounds great in theory till you walk in with the copy of Carrie with the movie theater poster. And some of the youngins saw that and some other parents did not enjoy it. And I was told I needed to wrap my books in brown paper from now on.
Wow, that's hilarious.
So that is that story. Jen, had you read the book or just ever seen it?
I have not read not one Stephen King book ever in life.
So. I'm her friend, so yet he's in a house with a lot of Stephen King merchandise, memorabilia, etc.
But I had seen the movie.
It is so well done. From the opening shot to the final shot, Brian De Palma knows how to shoot a movie. I mean,
I watched it this morning. It was a lot of boobs for like 10 a.m. I was like, whoa.
Well, that was coming, so I don't really know.
I didn't know. I forgot. I hadn't seen it in a long
10 a.m.
This is what?
It was a lot of Bush for 10 a.m.
Oh, man, so much. I was like a double whammy.
The 70s.
I wasn't ready.
I think the opening shot, well, obviously the shot I'm talking about is obviously right after volleyball. The girl misses one shot, people.
Man, and I was like, this is like prac PE. Like, calm the hell down.
We're eating shit over a gym class? Like, calm down.
I was so upset at that. They said the girl who hit her with the I forgot the girl's name, the one with the red baseball hat. She wasn't supposed to be there.
For Prom.
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to hit her. She just did that improv, and that got her on the movie longer. He liked that she did that, and that he hit her in the head, and she got the part for longer.
Hold on, Alexa, stop! Just saying things to me.
I hate when that happens.
So, but the bathroom scene. Let's just talk about it now. Jen and I were raised by normal people, so I think we both knew that what a period was. I could not imagine being old enough for senior prom and not having had my first period.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, I don't know what the law is in California. In New York, I know for you to have any kind of those education classes, your parents need to sign a permission slip. So we can just take the natural assumption that Carrie White's mother never let her sign them.
Probably not.
Which, once again, this goes back to other movies we've talked about. Child service, nobody gave a shit in the 70s and 80s if these children lived. Nothing. Because you would think at some point, I mean, the whole town kind of knew how crazy the mom was.
Yeah.
So.
But people also minded their own business back then, so she wasn't abused. She was going to school every day, so they were like, I guess she was fine.
That poor thing. So. That scene is so harrowing because, first of all, I remember when I got my first period. I was young. I was 11. But even if you've had it before, your first, or once you get it, your first shower after it is very weird because water naturally makes it look so much worse. So I couldn't imagine that having been my first experience with my period being water based. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just so insane. Like, that poor girl. And
I don't experience that, but I can imagine that would be a lot.
it does. You have, it's just so, it just looks like so much. like it just does. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't, but it really truly does. So I can't imagine. And you have no idea what it is. You have no idea why it's happening to you. The poor terror of poor Carrie White. And those girls are just so, so cruel. And
Like awful people, like in all of them, every last one of them.
not a one stopped it.
And I'm like, who are they? Like, that's just pure. They were all just evil people. Who gets joy in that? What kind of horrible person are you?
Horrible. The teacher sees it, comes. Now, once again, in the 70s, guess no one cared because this teacher beat the shit out of everybody.
She really did. I was like, oh, damn.
And
then she slapped Carrie. I was like, holy.
To be fair, though.
Oh, she needed it. She was hysterical.
Yeah, that poor girl, that was the best thing you could have done for her. But here's the thing. The teacher does say when she's in the room with the principal, I don't think we should be surprised knowing who her mother is.
Yeah.
So, but that poor girl was hysterical.
Yeah. And like, oh, and I would have been upset for her running at me with a bloody hand and touching my shirt. That would have made me upset. But not to the point where I would have made fun of her in the shower. I'd have just been like, what the heck? Get your dirty hand off me. I don't want your bloody hand on me.
But here's the other thing. Once again, if somebody runs to me saying, help me, my first thought is not going to be, oh, they got their period. Because I'm going to assume that a girl my age knows that. And I'm going to be like, oh my God, this person's hurt. This person's in pain. She is bleeding unnaturally.
Yeah.
Like, because else she would know that would have been my first thought. I would have taken her immediately into the teacher's room and been like, let's get her wrapped up. Let's get her helped. I don't know what's happening to her. And then we can figure it out. But they just push her back, assume it's her period, assume she doesn't know what's going on. That to me is such a wild, even for the cruelest person. I could see Chris Hargensen doing it. Norma clearly was dying to be accepted. And that one with the big glasses was clearly just dying not to be the one getting picked on that week.
Yeah.
Because there's no way she wasn't getting picked on.
I thought that too. I was like, she's like one of the kids picking on, she'd be one of the ones being picked on.
Yeah. So she was just trying not to be the person that week. Let's all be real. Yeah. I think the only reason she didn't get tormented daily is because poor Carrie was in the class. Mm-hmm. So, but for all of them, that just, so we fast forward, we get to the principal's office, and this principal couldn't be less.
Oh, he was so awful.
He was like, I thought he did the right thing, and he said to the teacher, you need to handle the punishments. I don't know from what is appropriate.
Yeah.
And that
kept calling her Cassie. I was like, it's Carrie. It's not like her name's Blair Witch. You can remember Carrie.
Hey. Hey. I caught you. I see what you did there.
It's not that hard.
Not that hard.
He could have even said Terry. Even Terry would have been a little bit more acceptable, but Cassie just doesn't even rhyme. Like, come on, sir. Do better.
Just wasn't trying. He's like, we'll send you home. Do you need a ride? I'm like, I love that she flipped over that kid on the bike. Like,
I laughed so hard at that. I was like, that's what you get for being a little shit.
Oh my God, this is great.
And I like that he knew she did it too. He didn't know how, but he knew that she did it because he shut up.
Yep.
I do like how they show the start of it, like that scene in the principal's office. She does get pissed off that he calls her the wrong name, so she kind of flips out there.
Yep.
And then,
I
so
like
it's a build.
build to her. Well, the first build is the light bulb. It
Yeah.
keeps escalating. Yeah. Then Piper Laurie as Margot White is some of the bar none best casting. Kudos to whoever cast that.
Well, she played it. She thought it was a comedy because it was so. She said it was so over the top, the lines, and the woman was such a fanatic that she thought it was it was like a dark comedy. So
Yeah.
she was playing it that way, but it worked.
Yeah. Once again, in the 70s, clearly Neighbors kinder as well, because I would not have even allowed that into my house. And now poor Mrs. Snell is offering any amount of money.
5, 10.
Her $100 to get the out of the house. Like, I swear. Like, but here's the thing, like, now in 2020s, we've got signs. No soliciting. We found Jesus. Seriously, unless you're selling Pinmans, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You know? And rightfully so. It's like, everybody knows where the church in town is, Mrs. White. If we need some salvation, we know where. Yeah. It's just, now, also let's talk about their home. Mrs. White is not doing enough cooking if she can give up a whole closet in the kitchen.
Just for punishment.
Just for punishment. I was looking at that going, the pantry I could have with that much space? It's like, oh.
Well, I mean,
12s of XOXO boxes.
By the looks of Carrie, she does not cook that much.
No.
And it works out because she's then also big enough to fit in a pantry for punishment. So, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone there.
He's very thin. So, Mrs. White, I mean, that punishment is over the top. And you have hit crazy train if you think your period comes because of impure thoughts, etc.
I can't.
I need you to read a book of biology. Please.
Or maybe even read the Bible, because it doesn't say that.
Well, I would go out on a limb and say that she is not of a traditionalist sect. So perhaps her version does say things like that.
It does. They actually did say that her adding to her psychotic character is the fact that none of the Bible passages that she says are real. They're all made up. So it's like, yeah, she's making up her own stuff here.
Yeah. Which a lot of fanatics do. So Jim Jones, anyone?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I think she's some part of some fringe, more cult-like organization with all those printed out pamphlets, because she's not even reading from the Bible when she's screaming at
No.
her pamphlet things that she's reading. So yeah, a lot of.
And that figure she has, it's not even Jesus, it's a saint. So she's got a lot of things going on.
Right.
The little statue at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Carrie prays, then kisses her mother, and goes to bed. Sorry, I had those kind of powers. I'll take my chances with CPS. Jesus Christ. Let's just knock you over in front of an oncoming truck.
Yeah, and then I'll deal with it later. I'll try it as a minor. Yeah. Or no, because I'll use my powers, so they won't even know it was me. It'll be fine.
So she goes to bed, and the way that mirror breaks, and by the way, can we talk? Who cleans up a book?
She put. I was like, damn. She knew. She was like, this. I don't need this today. Let me just go ahead and clean this up right quick.
Never. Did she use her powers to clean it? She must have.
Maybe she did. Yeah, maybe that was because they did do it like a duh, so maybe it was to signify that she used her powers to do it.
Yeah.
It would have kind of been cool if they had showed it and then shown the pieces falling. Like she looks away and then the pieces fall. So
Right.
it's like she was holding the pieces there.
Right.
That would have been kind of cool.
And then now poor Carrie's back at school with these numbnuts.
Completely numbnuts.
And why is, first of all, English teacher. Tommy's never going to suck your cock. Calm down. Anybody else get that vibe? Just me? Okay. He was a little too excited about all that, Tommy. And Tommy Ross, rightfully so, when the teacher is being a jerk, mumbles, "You suck." And I thought that was so sweet. Like, you could see he's just like, you're a grown adult. Like, why are you being rude to a teenager who did nothing but praise somebody else's work? Like, that's not, that's no.
Who are you? What are you doing with your life?
Right. Like, Tommy's like, you can see the whole look on his face is like, what is wrong with this man? And so in that moment, you realize, like, okay, this is a good person.
He's a decent. Mm-hmm.
Look on Sue Snell's face when the teacher comes in, when they're throwing the stuff. She's like, oh my God, this teacher's right. Like, how could I have gotten caught up in this? What the fuck did I do? Like, she is the one who you can really see the remorse immediately.
Yeah.
I do believe she just got caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it right.
No, but people make mistakes. Yeah.
Mistakes. The only two I have no sympathy for in that whole situation are Norma and Chris Hardwick.
Chris. Yeah.
This is the worst. The worst. And now, what they tell you in the book that they don't tell you in the movie is Chris's father is very important. And that is why.
She's so entitled.
But that is why the teacher wasn't immediately allowed to just take away their prom tickets. Is because Chris's father said something.
Yeah. I mean,
don't show that, and that's to escalate everything quicker for their timeline. I totally.
Yeah. It's still played well. It wasn't like that was weird. It was like that would be very drastic, which not technically drastic for what they did, but that was a lot of the class. So it's like you don't want to ban the whole class from prom. So it was like, yeah.
Now, what I thought was weird, I am skipping a little bit ahead, is apparently if you didn't have a date, then you.
I was like, what? I was like, wow, that's the weirdest rule I've ever heard. Now that's some ridiculous, outdated stuff. I was like, okay,
this is 1970s, but that seemed a little extreme to me.
Now you're doing a lot. But I'm sure I don't think they did. I think that was for the movie's sake, so that what's her Sue wasn't there.
Right. But
I was like, that's weird.
That was unnecessary because Tommy had a lot of nerds in his contingency group. One of them just couldn't have taken Sue. Like,
That is true.
That seemed unnecessary. I think the only reason it was necessary is because then you see Sue peeking from behind.
Right.
I get that, but I don't think it was 100% necessary. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
So Chris just decides.
Oh, she's Miss Thing. I'm not doing it. I'm not going.
Once again, the teacher smacks her right.
Right in the face.
Doesn't care. Apparently, no laws against that.
Oop.
And now Chris has decided that she is going to request that Billy Nolan help her with this plot against Carrie. When she finds out that Sue has asked Tommy.
And I like how you see that Sue just had to ask, and they're innocently watching TV. He thinks about it. He thoughtfully says, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the movie at the time, but I was like, is she setting her up? And then I see Chris has to give a blowjob to convince her boyfriend to do something, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
that's an interesting.
By the way, way too much talking during.
I was like, I'm not a pro, I guess you would say, but that seems that doesn't. She was she was enunciating. It
There was a
was.
lot of words. I didn't.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't. Also, I'm just glad that they stopped the car before she did, because I was real afraid there for a minute they were going to still be driving, and that just seemed unsafe. They're both crazy pants, so I guess they work together as a couple. So
That was a toxic relationship. I was like, what in the world?
Order date that though, because I certainly would not.
But yeah, what does she call him? I forgot what she keeps calling him, but she keeps calling him something that he doesn't like dumb shit or something like that.
Dumb shit.
And
I don't like it, so let's start hitting.
Yeah.
Let's all just hit each other. A lot of hitting in the 70s.
Like, you're specifically calling me that because you know that I hate it.
Yeah.
That's very, very toxic. I can't with that.
So now Carrie's looking for some books because her powers are getting stronger. She is remembering some things. They don't show this, but up from her childhood, the meteor shower and everything when she was younger. That's in the book. That's not in the movie. So she's remembering things and placing together that she probably shouldn't be able to make a kid just fall off a bike.
Mm-hmm.
So she's looking at books, and Tommy comes up and very nicely asks her to the prom, and she runs away and she's crying. And this teacher, what I love is that, rightfully so, she is fearful that they are playing a mean, cruel trick on Carrie. But she keeps that in, builds up Carrie's confidence.
With it, yeah. Talks to the girl. Yeah. And I like that Carrie wasn't so stupid about it either. Yeah. She was like, and she didn't let it go. She kept asking, why are you asking me? Like, why did you ask me?
Right. And I think, like, I don't understand why Tommy couldn't have said, Sue and I would really like to make up to you what Sue did. I don't care what other people think of me taking you to the prom. I feel it's the right thing. I would like you to have a good high school. Like, I don't understand why that wasn't written. I don't think that would have been a problematic part to the story, but he chose not to.
Yeah. I mean, as a teen, they're probably just thinking, let's keep her confidence up and just think that someone wants to go with her. Not that it's a pity.
True. And I do get that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so cute. By the way, though, has Tommy not heard any rumors of the White House? Like, he just rolls on up, and like everybody else in town avoids.
He's protected by those beautiful blonde curls. Can't get to him.
Before, I'm going to say it again, men in the 70s, your aesthetic, it does nothing for me. I saw the actor that plays him, though. Like, I looked up a picture of him now, and now it's working for me. I do forget the man's name.
He reminds me of Ian Summers. I know that's not him, but that's who he reminds me of.
Oh, okay.
No, his name's not Ian Summers. Steve Summers is his name on 90210. Ian Zerling, that's his name.
Ian Zerling?
Yeah.
I had no clue who you meant, so.
You're just going along with it. Okay.
I do it to you a lot. I'm sure you do it to me, too.
Yep, I have.
We know each other.
We'll figure it out later.
William Cat is his name. And he is...
Yeah, which is funny. Oh, wow. He looks different.
Yeah, but good
No, he looks good. Yeah.
For an older gentleman.
That's okay. He was in House. I knew he looked familiar. I knew him from something else. I was like, why does he look familiar?
And now he's in Hunters on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yeah. I liked...
He's in
Buckley. She aged very well. She looks gorgeous. Her birthday is July 3rd, 1947. She looks really good.
Yeah. Everybody looks... the people in this movie have aged well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pig's blood will do that for you, I guess.
I guess. So yeah, I mean they go for it getting that pig's blood. I mean,
Oh,
that is just horrific, unnecessary.
Sissy Spacek isolated herself from the rest of the cast to get that isolated feeling.
Yes.
And she said, I'll party with you guys after the movie. She was like, I love you guys, but we got to party afterwards because I got to keep in this headspace, which is interesting.
So I thought that was very good of her. Now where are we?
You're getting pig's blood. I think that's just about where we were.
Pig's blood. Gross. That poor pig.
Yeah. Not for that. They don't need to die for that.
Unnecessary.
Like
I understand, but if you just want to humiliate her, that seems like an awful lot of work.
you could have done paint.
Paint? Fake blood? That we all do.
Tomato juice, ketchup, tomato paste.
Right.
So many red options.
So many options other than pig's
Actual blood.
By the way, where did they keep that pig's blood until the prom?
I don't know. Probably in her frigid heart.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine? Even worse. Listen, guys, if you're going to pour any type of blood on me, I request that it be chilled prior to throwing on me. I do not want
warm
or blood. Yeah. No, thank you.
No.
Oh,
and I just got the correlation of the beginning, the blood. So it was like I guess symbolism of her getting her period.
Yep, that was the whole reason. It
was because of the blood from the beginning. Gotcha. Yeah, but still could have been.
Could have achieved it many other ways.
Yeah, without actual pig's blood.
Not having to pretend you're a butcher.
And actually, for how short the story itself is and what it's about, it's a very concise story. It's
very well done.
It's very concise, but it doesn't feel like it drags on. It gets the point across and where it needs to go very well.
So now we're getting to prom.
Yeah.
And Carrie's getting ready. And she looks fantastic. And what I like is you could tell, I mean, because the teacher says it, she was always pretty. It was what her mother had done to her. A girl who looked like that, if she had been raised in a normal household, would have been friends with Sue and Chris.
And Sissy Spacek actually was homecoming queen at her high school.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I
like that she wanted to be social. I like that she wasn't just so harmed and so traumatized that she was just this complete outcast. It was like, no, I want to be normal. I want to have friends. Yeah.
So she she just kept throwing Margot down on that bed. She's like, sit down, mama.
I'm going. I'm going.
That dress was beautiful. If her mother called her breasts dirty pillows one more time, I was gonna dry heave. What is that? Mystic.
That's
come on now.
Hilarious. Come lay on my dirty pillows.
I mean, poor Sissy. I mean, she had normal. I mean, imagine what her mother would have called. I mean, geez. Can only imagine.
Couch cushion.
Couch cushion. But yes, Sissy looked beautiful, but still like her.
The curling her hair did wonders for her. Curling her hair and a little bit of lipstick.
Yeah. Well, that's just a little. That's what I'm saying. Though I like that. Like she didn't become something she never was. She just kicked it up the tiniest notch.
Yeah.
The tiniest. And I don't think they showed it, but she made that dress.
No, they didn't show that.
She makes it in the book.
Oh, okay. And in the book, though, they said I haven't read the book, they said that she had glasses and acne. Like, she was actually unattractive in the book.
It's been so long. But I feel like you might be right, but I don't remember.
Okay. I just read that. I was wondering if they described her as changing in the book.
I don't know.
Okay.
But now Tommy comes in the world's ugliest tux. I mean, once again I know it was the height of fish. By the way, I love that the kid's like, I only got $10. For $10, you could rent a tux in the 1970s?
It was a great time to be alive, other than people being unattractive.
Yeah. The women are keeping it together. It's really just the men.
Oh, as we always have to do. Doesn't matter the decade.
Doesn't matter the decade. What I thought was interesting is the other girls that were with Tommy Nolan's group were very kind to Carrie
Mm-hmm.
in a way that made me wonder, did they always want to be and didn't know how? Like, are they just kind girls? But sometimes when people isolate themselves too much, you
don't try.
You don't try. Or was it like Tommy's the head of the group and whatever Tommy says goes, and so now we're going to be nice to this person? And honestly, I'm fine with either.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of both too.
Or being disingenuous by being kind to her. I gotta say, they were excellent actresses.
And as long as, yeah.
Very sweet, very cordial, very nice to a new person in their group. It's to me like they were probably, because we had never seen those girls before.
Yeah.
They were probably the mid-tier. So not the Chris Hardwicks, not the Sue Snell's group.
Yeah.
Probably one step above Carrie in like the social level.
Yeah.
And Carrie probably could have been friends with that group if she had just tried a little bit. So I liked that. I liked seeing her interact with some girls that just seemed genuinely like not like we're going to be best friends tomorrow, but just genuinely nice people to spend an evening around.
Right. Kind of like She's All That when Gabrielle Union when Rachel Lee Cook comes to the party and Gabrielle Union grabs her hand and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. Like, come, I'm gonna take her over here." I like that scene where.
Well, and you could tell that Gabrielle Union was real sick of the other one's shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, she was like ready for somebody. I think Gabrielle Union just needed one other person to like shake it up, and then she was ready to go down. And I liked that Rachel Cook was that person for her. And honestly, I feel like that's what Sue needed.
Sue Snell, yeah.
And that's what Carrie is now being for her. Unfortunately, it goes poorly, but that is the goal.
Especially with Chris being such a cow.
Because you could tell she was done with Chris. She was like, "Shut up, Chris. Just shut
up." Like, everyone else accepted their punishment. They were like, I mean, they hated it, but they were like, whatever.
Like, but she's right. This was really shit.
And we still get to go to prom, so it's fine. But Chris just was like so evil and just. I mean, she made she could still go to prom and she still wanted to have an attitude.
Right. Just do some if nothing else, you're all gonna look fucking fantastic.
I know. You're getting ready for prom. Hello. That's how girls nowadays would have taken it. They'd be like, "Fine, we'll just get in shape for our dresses."
Yeah. I mean, I literally would have passed out. I have no athletic ability. So
when she was calling them for that, going back a little bit, when she was calling them in for that, I thought it was another bully. And I looked up and I was like, "Oh shit, that's the teacher."
Yeah.
The way she was talking to him, I was like, "Well, this person sounds like another bitch." And then I was like, "Oh, it's all right. That's how the teacher's talking to the students. Cool."
I thought that she came over, checked on Carrie at the prom.
Oh, that's
so sad. God. Yeah. And now.
And then hit like the little moment they have at the table when they're looking at the nominees and she's like, "Who should we vote for?" And she's like, "You know them better than I do." I thought that was cute, even for her to be like, "You know them better than I do. Who should we vote for?"
And he's like, "No, we're gonna vote for
ourselves."
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cute.
Yeah. But then
But also, how quick is this town getting out ballots?
Yeah.
Like we're just printing them up the day before prom, because until the day before prom, nobody knew that Carrie White was going with Tom Ross. So
That is true.
I
I
just didn't understand. I don't know. I mean,
I say this not even liking what happens, but it would have been interesting if she had thought she'd set it up so that Carrie was going to win, and then we find out he didn't have a chance to do it or something, and then we find out that she genuinely won.
right.
That I think that would have made it worse for me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but that would have been another interesting layer if she had genuinely won.
Right. So she's standing there. She just looks so happy. Tommy looks so happy. And you know when the blood spills that Tommy literally had no.
Oh, he had no idea because he screams out, "What the hell?"
Zone. Which good for that actor to stand there. I mean, poor God, these actors.
Yeah.
Um,
They said Sissy never rinsed off the blood. She just slept in her clothes so for continuity. I'm like, now that's dedication right there. I appreciate that. But she wanted the continuity, so it's all the same blood. 3 days of filming, and she wore the same thing, went to bed with it.
God bless her. Or maybe she really just didn't want that blood poured on her.
Again, she's like, ah.
She's like, it's here. I'm just leaving.
Yeah, let's just do this. Yeah, but everyone's happy for her. Everyone's cheering.
It's so beautifully shot. Because here's the thing. Whilst Carrie seemed a little weird, it didn't look like she was a person. It seemed like she was a person people just didn't know.
Didn't know. Yeah.
Exactly. Like she was never cruel. She was never unkind. So you could see people genuinely being like, let this girl have her moment. The poor girl's had nothing else. Like that would be me in high school, because I didn't even go to prom. Maybe it's because I read and watched Carrie one too many.
And you're like, I'm good. I don't need to die for a dance.
Yeah. But that final scene, she flips that switch, and when you see all those doors lock, you know immediately. You're like, well, shit's going down. And Ed clocked it. He was like, her face is real. Like, by mid of the gym scene, her face is completely zoned.
Oh yeah. So she's got the crazy eye going on.
And it's because at this point she realizes she might not be able to flip back because she hasn't controlled her power.
Yeah.
Um
And the hard part is her hallucinating that all the people who actually did care
right.
were laughing at her, and they never were. The teacher wasn't laughing at her.
Sue,
And the teacher tried to help but she saw Sue. She thought Sue was going to do it. And it was just like, oh, no.
right.
I like that she clocked it, though, that she was aware and saw something was going on. She just stopped the wrong person.
Right. Yeah. But once again, just another movie where 2 seconds of communication.
That's all.
If the teacher had just listened to Sue and been like, when Sue goes, that's not me, and we gotta do something.
Yeah. Because she got her all the way to the back of the gym. Like, what were you just screaming? Like, what? Yeah. Use your words. Talk. Don't be hysterical. Walk calmly and say, look, she's under there. Because that was a long time to get her all the way to the back of the gym. And actually, if I were Sue, I would have ran up on the stage and moved Carrie.
Yeah.
I would have taken a shot and just moved her.
Yeah.
Rather than go after whoever was pulling the bucket. Because that would have been a better call. But
also, how could she not figure out that whomever, like, why did she go off the stage? You'd have to.
It was a weird setup. I don't even. It was crazy that Sue even recognized that there was a rope going. Like,
yeah,
who pays attention to a rope on like a prom setup?
But the second you see it, wouldn't you assume that the person would be under The stage,
Weren't they?
they were, but
'Cause
that's not where she went.
oh, where did she go?
She went around the front.
Yeah, they were under the stage. It was the edited, like it's the way that they set it up, and I'm sure they were like, "We'll fix it in post," even though they do that a lot. Because they were under the stairs, because that's why she was reaching under. Because you see Sue, you see their faces, and then you see Sue between them getting
Right,
ready to.
right.
So
But
you're saying why did she go under the stair to the front under the stairs
yes,
instead of the back?
so why didn't she go behind
Gotcha, gotcha,
that
gotcha.
to catch them by surprise and pull them away from the road?
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
That would have been
I get what you're
my
saying.
go-to move. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, so if she does that and she's successful and the blood never pours on Carrie, we don't have the rest of the movie. So
yeah,
you do have to forgive a few things. But I thought it would have been more interesting if you see Sue trying to run behind and she
yeah. And
a moment too soon. A moment
yeah, too late. Yeah,
you literally see her get there as they're dropping the rope. To me, that would have been, you would have felt like, okay, so all the people that could have helped Carrie were unable because the teacher knew nothing and Sue
yeah,
got there too late. You know what? And
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah.
What Sue really should have done also could have been to say, Tommy, grab what? No screaming. Screaming doesn't.
Yeah, right. Do something.
Get the off the stage.
Yeah, go grab her, go push Carrie. If you have to push Carrie to the ground and make her think that you were being mean to her or whatever, like then you can explain it to her later.
Away, yes.
Yeah, just
And if any of those things succeed, we don't have this
yeah, yeah.
fabulous final scene in which Carrie lays waste to the entire.
Everybody, this is so yes. Okay, I'll get there.
Go
It's
for
so
it.
sad. It's so like I was I was like upset during the movie. I was like there were so many people that were trying to help her and like you said it's just the bad communication, bad timing. And it's a rough movie for me cuz I feel like so many people died that obviously it's like you care about and it's like they were actually kind to her
Thank
and
God
then
I have to see Noreen's stupid red hat again.
oh god.
If
She she's the one that got blasted into the table, right, with the fire hose.
yeah.
Yeah, she actually got her eardrum busted out.
Oh well,
Like
I wouldn't want
she
that for the actress. I'm sure she's a very nice person.
yeah, she actually like when you see it, that's the moment like she couldn't hold her head up because her equilibrium was off. So it's actually the shot of her after her eardrum healed after 6 months though. So she got her hearing back.
6 months, jeez.
Yeah, but at least it heals. I thought if your eardrum got busted, that was it. I didn't know that was something that could heal. But yeah, and then I don't like Chris. To me, Chris and John Travolta, I don't even remember Billy, whatever his name is. Oh yeah, it's Billy because she says it several times in that car scene. They don't get proper comeuppance for me.
Mm,
I think I want it like if everyone's gonna die in that manner, like even innocent people who actually were trying to help Carrie, I wanted them to have a more horrible death.
okay.
Because them just flipping in the car was kind of like, I need them to know what's happening and to know why it's happening.
Oh, so Betty Buckley, who plays the teacher, just so you guys know, she was 28 at the time.
Yeah.
8 years
And
older than
Sissy was 26, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
The scene, the whole prom scene took 35 takes. It was 2 weeks to shoot, over 2 weeks to shoot.
And it is a different.
It's a different ending, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys will have to read the book to find the difference.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start. Actually, I did start the outside. Huh? What'd you say?
I said, or they can Wikipedia it if they're really dying to know, but I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not gonna. I did start The Outsider and It. I just didn't get through them because I did like The Outsider, the TV show. But now I kind of do want to read Carrie. Because the teacher does turn out to be horrible, right? Oh, you said you didn't want to give the way, so I won't say nothing.
So she gets home, and now she's cleaned herself off. She goes to her mother for what she thinks is going to be support. Her mom tries to kill her.
She shanks her. Shanks her right in the back.
Yep, and then is doing the sign of the cross in a butcher knife over, I'm sorry, And now what I love is the foreshadowing from the statue in the prayer closet in the very beginning to how you see Mrs. White's
The arrows.
very
Yeah.
end. And Carrie is so overcome with emotion that we are just going to implode an entire house.
Her trying to snatch her hand out of the wall. I was like, God, just go grab it. Just go grab it. I couldn't handle it. I was like, stop it.
Yeah.
Can't just yank a hand out of the
So
wall.
wonderfully shot. I mean, when you get home and you see all those candles, you just know shit's gonna
It's done. Yeah.
That many candles, it's always going down. Either sexy time's about to happen
Or deathy time.
Religious right gonna go horribly wrong. Okay, some cult like it's about to go down.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what Mrs. White was trying. She was blessing Carrie before murdering her. Didn't quite work out for her, but also you now know your daughter has these powers to make things fly at you. If you want her dead, wouldn't you perhaps maybe wait until she's sound asleep? She's obviously had a busy night. She's going to fall asleep quietly.
Yeah. Then stab her. Oh, sweetie, let me make you a bowl of soup. I'm sorry. Let me get you some tea so you can go to sleep with some chamomile.
And arsenic.
Yeah, yeah.
Just options.
Be smart. Let's be smart, people.
She was literally bringing a knife to a flying
Carrie fight.
And I just think that's poor planning.
Wasn't a good idea.
Your daughter literally threw you on a bed 3 times.
Like manhandled you.
Yeah, with her mind. Not even her hands, with her mind. You still think this is a good idea? You're off the reservation.
Yeah. If she was there in the first place.
Overall thoughts?
Like I said, I like the movie as a well done movie. I like that it's a simple premise. It's this one act, domino effects to this one big prom. I love that, and I want to like it. It's just I hate so many likable characters trying to do the right thing dying. But as a movie, yes, I liked it.
Yeah,
I
10 out of 10 for me. I think the acting is flawless. I think everybody hit it out of the park. I think, especially, Sissy she embodied that character so well. It's it's a flawless performance. I'm really, because I like Chloe Grace Moretz, so I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I've not seen the Carrie remake.
I haven't either.
People that I have told me that her and Julianne Moore do a very good.
That's what it was. Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
I'm excited to see how they do it because I do think both of them are formidable actresses. So I'm interested to see their take on it. Like I said, this is very near and dear to me. It's one of my first Stephen King novels.
It's funny. It's his favorite. He loves the movie. He even thinks the movie was better than his book, which is
the ending.
Pretty incredible.
That and The Mist are 2 of the movies he has said the changes to the endings he loves.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. Another little fun fact: Carrie Fisher had applied to play. Not applied, but auditioned to play Carrie. I think it said George Lucas and Brian De Palma held auditions they held a joint audition, and Sissy Spacek actually her husband was the art director for the movie, and he told her he should audition, and she called Brian De Palma and was like, "I have a commercial that I could audition for that I would get $10,000 for. Should I come to your audition or should I go to this commercial?" And he was like, "You should go to that commercial because you're going to make money." And she read Carrie front to back all night, and she was like, "I got to have this part." She put Vaseline in her hair, didn't wash her face, wore a sailor dress from when she was like a kid, and nailed it. So that's pretty interesting that Carrie Fisher was supposed to play Carrie.
As wonderful of an actress as I think Carrie Fisher is, I don't see that. And maybe because I see her as such a
strong.
I don't think she would have been able to play weak Carrie.
Exactly.
But seen Carrie, she would have
Yeah.
not had the part. But I can't picture her playing someone so
Same vulnerable, which is the same thing that we said about Sarah Michelle Gellar last week, and I Know What You Did Last Summer, playing Julie. She couldn't that kind of vulnerability because they're so strong and they're so. This is a testament to who they are as women. They just
Yeah.
not that they're not good actresses, but they just carry so much strength and
Yeah.
assertiveness that it would just be hard to. Maybe they could have, who knows? But it's hard to picture without having seen it.
Yeah. So yeah, what did you give it overall?
Overall, I would probably say 8
8 out of
as a movie, 8 out of 10. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking strictly movie, then probably as it was done as a movie, I would say 10 out of 10. And if you're a horror fan, if you're a Stephen King fan, you definitely should see it at least once. The only drawback for me again was just so many characters dying.
T10 has such a sweetheart.
I I can't, like, when people do what they're supposed to do and act right and then they still end up like messed up. Something about this type of movie, like high schoolers and everyone really trying to actually be kind to this person, and the miscommunication of her thinking that they were all laughing at her and never cared about her. It's like, that's heartbreaking. Slasher movie where it's like all these teens get killed by a Freddy or whatever. It's like, that's fine. That's what you expect. That's part of the thing. But something about this is just like, everyone was trying to be kind.
Yeah.
And it just all fell apart.
Yeah. I do think it could have almost been better if Carrie had been better able to control it to where, so she was very able to just take out Chris and Billy.
Right. And then Tommy not dying from a bucket falling on his head, because that sucked too.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he was so nice. Like, he was genuinely kind to her.
Yeah.
They were all trying so hard. And that's the other thing, is that it's not just that they died, but it's that Carrie never knew that
they were
people actually cared about her.
Yeah.
So that part, that's heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, while I was watching it, I was like, I don't like this movie. Even though I'd seen it before, I was just like, as a kid, I wasn't paying attention to what everyone was doing and how everyone was treating her.
Right.
But yeah, I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch the remake.
I am too. And I'm glad that neither of us have seen the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so next week we will be watching obviously the Carrie 2018 or 2019.
Isn't it 13? I thought it was 13.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I could be wrong. Oh, and one more fun fact about this version.
Love for fun facts, guys. 2013, right.
It was Bates High School, which was homage to Psycho. It was Bates High School, which was homage to Psycho. And if you notice the sound, that screeching sound when Carrie does things sounds like the famous Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's they said De Palma wanted that, or was it Stephen King? I can't remember. It was probably De Palma. He wanted that sound, and he realized it was the Psycho sound that he really liked. So it's very close to that.
Okay.
And the high school is Bates High School, which is a direct reference to Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yes. Wow, guys, look at this. We're under an hour.
Hey, and I feel like it was thorough.
I thought
we didn't have tangents like we usually do
today. Jeez, guys. This is what happens.
This is what happens when you have a very straightforward and well done movie.
Yeah. When I'm not sitting here wondering why there's 3 goddamn parades.
Or a seahorse. I'm gonna post a picture of Carrie with her crown and Sarah Michelle Gellar in her crown and see who gets the most votes.
Yeah. Who wore it better?
Who wore it better. All right. So yeah, next week, Carrie 2013.
I'm excited. I think it's going to be very good. I really do. This is one of the first remakes that I've been like excited for. Actually, the other one was the 1980 something thing remake. I just was very excited.
Yeah.
Anything that wasn't one, I'm sorry.
That's fine. Yeah. And I'm glad that we both haven't seen it. It's gonna be fun, good times.
Yeah.
You know where to find us.
If you don't, guys, seriously.
Get with the times. Just Google horror and heels. You'll find everything.
You'll find some things.
Yeah. Hey, leave us a voicemail. We want to hear from you guys. What do you want to hear? Like,
Yeah,
say hi or something.
do it. And if we really like it, we'll play it on this podcast.
Yeah, we will.
And if we don't, we'll mock you like we're Chris Hardison. So. Win-win.
That's what we do.
So, and Jen, you have a little something to tell everyone about?
Yes. Poltergeist OG. He does some he does horror movie themed music, which is actually pretty cool. He has one for like sleepaway camp, so we're gonna play a little commercial of his right now after we get off. So listen to that. Check him out on Spotify. You can follow him on Instagram at Poltergeist, spelled the same way, _OD on Instagram, and then find him on Spotify. We'll have a link in this episode
for you guys, always linking.
Yes. But it's pretty cool, yeah. So he just has different horror themed music. I like it. It's very clever. Pretty cool, good beats.
Yes. And I think that is all.
Yep.
So we will see you next week, and everyone stay safe.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.